Let me ask you a strange question. Why do some of the smartest people you know still struggle with money? They studied harder. They worked harder. They followed every rule society told them to follow. Yet many of them live paycheck to paycheck. Meanwhile, some people who were average in school end up building massive wealth. So what's really going on here? Is intelligence the problem? Or is it the system we were taught to trust? Today we're going to uncover why smart people often stay broke and how to escape the trap. Let's start with something uncomfortable. Some of the smartest people in the world are not rich. You probably know someone like this. The person who always got the highest grades in school. The one teachers praised. The one everyone believed would become extremely successful. They studied harder than anyone else. They followed every rule. Yet today, many of them are still struggling financially. Not poor, but never truly wealthy. Living month to month. Working harder every year. Waiting for the next promotion. Meanwhile, someone who barely passed school is suddenly running a business, investing in property, or building income online. So what happened? Did intelligence fail them? No. The problem is something much deeper. Most intelligent people are trained to become excellent problem solvers, but not wealth builders. They learn how to solve equations, write perfect reports, pass difficult exams, but they are never taught the rules of money. And the rules of money are completely different. School rewards correct answers, but money rewards risk and action. School rewards following instructions, but wealth often comes from breaking the standard path. This creates a strange trap. Smart people become extremely good at playing the school game, but the financial world is a completely different game. Imagine spending 20 years mastering chess, then suddenly being placed in a poker tournament. Your intelligence is still there, but the rules have changed. And if you keep playing by the old rules, you lose. This is what happens to many smart people. They believe that if they work harder, get better degrees, climb the career ladder, eventually wealth will appear. But that system was never designed to create wealth. It was designed to create stable workers. And that realization is uncomfortable because it means something important. The path we were told would make us successful might actually be keeping us financially stuck. But to understand why this happens, we need to go back to where this thinking begins. School, and invisible programming that shapes the way smart people think about money. Because the truth is, the system didn't fail smart people. It trained them perfectly, just not for the game of wealth. And that brings us to the next chapter. Think back to the advice most of us heard growing up. Study hard. Get good grades. Find a stable job. If you do these things, people say, you will have a secure future. For decades, this formula sounded logical, and in some ways, it still works. A good education can open doors. A stable job can provide safety. But there is something important hidden inside this advice. It trains people to become very good employees, not owners. From the first day of school, students are rewarded for doing 3 things: following instructions, completing assignments, avoiding mistakes. The best students become experts at this system. They learn how to meet expectations perfectly. But the financial world operates differently. In the real world, the biggest rewards often go to people who experiment, fail, adapt, take calculated risks. Those behaviors rarely get rewarded in school. In fact, most classrooms punish them. If a student tries something new and fails, they lose marks. If they challenge the system, they are told to follow the rules. Over time, smart students learn an important lesson. Safety is rewarded, and that lesson stays with them for years. So when they enter the workforce, their mindset looks like this: find a stable company, do excellent work, wait for promotions, avoid big risks. There is nothing wrong with this path, but it also explains why many intelligent people never build wealth. Because the wealth game asks a completely different question. Instead of asking, how can I become valuable to a company? Wealth builders ask, how can I build something that creates value on its own? It's a small shift in thinking, but the results are enormous. Imagine two people starting their careers at the same time. The first person focuses on becoming the best employee possible. They improve their skills, climb the ladder, and eventually earn a higher salary. The second person learns about investing, businesses, and assets. At first, their progress is slower, but over time, something interesting happens. The first person's income grows only when their effort grows. The second person begins building systems that produce income even when they are not working. One person is improving their career. The other is building ownership. And ownership is where wealth usually begins. Think of it like this. Employees earn money by trading time for income. Owners earn money by building systems that produce income repeatedly. That difference is the foundation of the wealth gap. But there is another trap that makes the situation even more confusing. Because sometimes smart people do everything right. They get the high-paying job. They earn more money than most people. And yet somehow, they still don't become wealthy. To understand why, we need to look at the next illusion, the illusion of high income. At some point, many smart people reach what seems like the ultimate reward, a high-paying job. Maybe they become a doctor, an engineer, a lawyer, a senior corporate manager. Their salary is impressive. Friends admire them. Family is proud of them. From the outside, it looks like they have already won the financial game. But something strange often happens next. Despite earning more money than most people, they still feel financially pressured. Bills grow, responsibilities grow, and their lifestyle slowly expands to match their income. This is known as lifestyle inflation. When income increases, spending quietly increases with it. A bigger apartment, a nicer car, more expensive vacations, higher expectations. Nothing feels excessive on its own, but together, they create a powerful trap. Because the higher someone's lifestyle becomes, the harder it becomes to step away from their job. Imagine someone earning a large salary. They have a mortgage, car payments, family expenses, insurance, subscriptions, daily costs. Even though their income is high, their financial life depends on that paycheck arriving every month. If the paycheck stops, everything stops. This is why high income does not always equal wealth. Income can disappear. Wealth usually does not. Think about it like this. Income is like water flowing from a faucet. As long as the faucet stays open, water flows. But if the faucet closes, the flow stops instantly. Wealth is more like a reservoir. It stores water. It continues providing even when the faucet stops. Many intelligent professionals focus almost entirely on increasing the faucet. Higher salary, better position, more bonuses. But they rarely focus on building the reservoir. And that's where the real difference appears. Someone earning a moderate income but consistently investing in assets can slowly build a reservoir of wealth. Meanwhile, someone earning a very high income but spending everything may never build one at all. This is why two people with similar salaries can end up with completely different financial futures. One builds assets. The other builds expenses. But there is another deeper issue behind this illusion. Even if someone earns a high income, most of the time they are still trapped in the same system because they are trading something extremely valuable, their time. And once time enters the equation, the limits of that system begin to appear, which brings us to the next chapter. There is one rule that quietly controls the financial life of most people. If you stop working, your income stops too. This is the core of the time for money trade. Many intelligent professionals fall into this system without even realizing it. Think about some of the most respected careers: doctors, lawyers, consultants, engineers. These professions require years of education and training. They are highly skilled and often well paid. But they all share the same hidden limitation. Their income depends on their presence. A surgeon earns money when performing surgery. A consultant earns money when advising clients. A lawyer earns money when handling cases. If they take a long break, their income slows down. If they stop working completely, their income disappears. This doesn't mean these careers are bad. They are extremely valuable to society. But financially, they operate inside a system that has a natural ceiling, because there are only so many hours in a day. Even if someone becomes more efficient or charges higher rates, the basic equation remains the same. Time is still required to generate income. Now, compare this to another type of income. Imagine someone who builds a digital product. At first, it takes time and effort to create. But once it exists, thousands of people can buy it without the creator repeating the same work. Or imagine someone who invests in real estate. At the beginning, they spend time researching and buying property. But after that, the property can generate rent every month. These examples show a different financial model. Instead of trading time for money repeatedly, they build something once that can continue producing income. This difference changes everything. Because when income is not tied directly to time, it becomes scalable. Think about two ways of carrying water. The first way is carrying buckets from a river every day. Each bucket requires effort. When you stop carrying buckets, the water stops. The second way is building a pipeline. It takes longer to build at the beginning, but once it is finished, water flows continuously. Many smart professionals spend their entire lives carrying bigger and heavier buckets. But wealth often comes from building pipelines. And there is one more subtle reason why intelligent people stay stuck in the bucket system. It's not because they lack ability. It's because they often think too carefully before taking action. Which brings us to another hidden obstacle, the problem of overthinking. Intelligence is powerful, but sometimes it can become a trap. Many smart people are trained to analyze every detail before making a decision. They research deeply. They evaluate every risk. They try to find the perfect strategy. This skill is extremely valuable in school and professional careers, but in the world of money and entrepreneurship, it can create a serious problem because action often matters more than perfect knowledge. Imagine two people learning about investing. The first person reads books for months. They study market history. They compare dozens of strategies. They want to make the perfect decision. The second person knows less, but they start investing small amounts immediately. At first, the second person makes mistakes. They choose the wrong stocks. They misunderstand certain risks. But something important happens. They gain experience. And experience teaches faster than theory. After several years, the difference becomes clear. The overthinker understands a market very well, but the action taker has actually built a portfolio. This pattern appears everywhere in finance. Smart people wait for perfect timing. Others begin early and improve along the way. Think of it like learning to swim. One person reads 10 books about swimming techniques. Another person jumps into the water and practices. Who learns faster? The one in the water. Wealth creation often rewards imperfect action, not perfect analysis. And this is why some people who were average in school suddenly succeed in business. They are more comfortable with uncertainty. They try things earlier. They fail faster. And each failure becomes a lesson. Meanwhile, highly intelligent individuals sometimes stay stuck in preparation mode, waiting for the perfect plan. But the truth is, in the financial world, there is rarely a perfect moment. There is only the moment you start. And once people begin taking action, something interesting begins to happen. Their focus slowly shifts. They stop thinking only about income, and they begin thinking about something much more powerful, assets. Because once someone understands the difference between income and assets, their entire financial strategy changes, which leads us to the next chapter. At some point, people who begin to understand money notice a powerful difference. Most people focus on earning more money. Wealthy people focus on owning things that produce money. This shift may sound small, but it changes everything. Because there are only two main ways to make money. The first way is through active income. This is when you work and get paid. A salary, freelance work, consulting, hourly jobs. The moment you stop working, the income slows down or disappears. The second way is through assets. Assets are things that generate income even when you are not actively working. Examples include investments, businesses, real estate, digital products, royalties, online platforms. These assets can continue producing income long after the initial effort. This is why wealthy people often focus their time differently. Instead of asking, "How can I earn more money this month?" they ask, "How can I build something that pays me for years?" Think about planting a fruit tree. At the beginning, planting the tree requires work. You prepare the soil. You water it. You wait. For a while, nothing happens. But eventually the tree grows. And when it grows strong enough, it produces fruit every season. Now imagine the difference between two people. One person spends every day buying fruit from the market. The other spends time planting trees. At first, the fruit buyer seems ahead. But years later, the person who planted trees owns an orchard. This is exactly how wealth grows. Most people focus on buying fruit. Wealthy people focus on owning the trees. Once this shift happens in someone's mind, their financial behavior changes completely. They begin asking different questions. Can this money buy an asset? Can this effort build something long-term? Can this decision create future income? Slowly, their life begins to move away from the paycheck cycle and toward ownership. But even when people understand this idea, many still wonder something important. Where do you actually begin? Because building wealth can seem overwhelming. The truth is, escaping the financial trap does not require massive money or genius strategies. It begins with a few simple mindset shifts, which brings us to the final chapter. The good news is this. Escaping the financial trap is not about becoming a financial genius. It's about thinking differently about money. Most people stay stuck because they focus on one thing, income. But wealth is built through a combination of three simple shifts. 1. Stop chasing income alone. Increasing income is useful, but income without asset building often leads to lifestyle inflation. Instead of asking only, "How can I earn more?" start asking, "How can I turn this money into something that produces more money?" Even small investments can begin this process. 2. Start building assets early. Assets do not have to be large. They can start small. A small investment account, a side business, a digital product, a rental property later on. The important thing is consistency. Assets grow through time and compounding. This is where the famous snowball effect appears. At first, the snowball is tiny, but as it rolls down the hill, it gathers more snow. Eventually, it becomes massive. Money works the same way. The earlier you start, the stronger the compounding becomes. 3. Use money to buy time. One of the ultimate goals of wealth is freedom. Freedom of time. Instead of trading every hour for money, assets allow people to slowly reclaim their time. The more systems and assets someone builds, the less dependent they become on constant work. And this is the real definition of financial freedom. Not luxury, not expensive cars, but the ability to control your own time. Being smart was never the problem. In fact, intelligence can become one of the greatest advantages in building wealth, but only if it is applied to the right game. For years, many people were taught a simple formula: study hard, work hard, climb the ladder. And while that path can provide stability, it rarely leads to true financial freedom. Wealth is built differently, through ownership, through assets, through systems that continue working even when you stop. Once you understand this shift, the financial world begins to look very different. You stop asking, "How much can I earn?" and start asking, "What can I build?" Because the people who eventually escape the financial trap are not always the smartest in school. They are the ones who learn to play a different game. And once you learn the rules of that game, your financial future can change forever. If this video helped you see money in a new way, make sure to like the video so more people can learn this idea. Comment below, what financial lesson do you wish you learned earlier in life? And don't forget to subscribe for more videos about money, mindset, and building real financial freedom.